Hello everyone, I'm Axis Horizon. This time, I want to talk about our D1X, which has been released for half a year and shipped for half a year. Many audiophiles are actually a bit unclear about how to play with the D1X going forward. With the launch of Soundaware's PA2, PA3 Diskone and network cards, the ways to play with the D1X, D1 or D2 and their peripheral series have become much richer. This time, I'll only recommend one of the play methods. Remember, the D1X has many play methods. We ask things like bridge separation, dual device setups, and adding network cards. After it has many play methods, I'll later list them all to tell everyone how to play. But for now, I'll first recommend the play method, which is the Diskone play method. Now there are two play methods for the D1X. For those who have bought the D1X, the first is a simple play method. What does that mean? Because the D1X has basically no restrictions on your capacity, partitioning, nothing is restricted. When you buy Diskone, you definitely want to buy the custom edition, not the standard edition. For the D1X, buy the custom edition. After buying it, directly get a hi-fi USB cable. Don't buy a consumer USB cable. Then, pay attention to Diskone's power cable. Don't use a computer cable. Be careful. Connect the cable to its USB 2 or 3 port, whichever you like. If it's the custom edition, connect to that USB data port. If it's the standard edition, connect to that or any other USB port. Just connect to these ports. Then directly play music. The most important point, and I'll say it again, the most important point is what? This is the simplest play method. At this point, the sound, I can tell you, is a bit like RAM playback effect. I can tell everyone, it's a bit like RAM playback. But how to choose its hard drive? Actually, if you use USB 2, honestly, whether you use a 5400 RPM NAS drive or a 7200 RPM one, there's basically no difference. I can truthfully tell you, with USB 2, if you want USB 3, then you might want 7200 RPM. It has a slight speed advantage. Actually, in my personal opinion, after listening, the advantage of different enterprise drives is mainly in lifespan. Remember, mainly lifespan. Ordinary NAS drives are LAS drives. What are NAS drives? They're like ordinary surveillance drives or LAS drives. Their main difference might be slightly shorter lifespan, but they actually sound similar. Don't blindly chase after gold drives or chase those Hitachi enterprise drives. I can tell you, the most hyped one now isn't necessarily the worst sounding. The most hyped is that old Hitachi enterprise drive. That drive has a long lifespan, but it will make some da-da-da-da-da sounds. Some goo-goo-goo-goo sounds. This isn't the drive being broken. It's just how the drive itself is. This is the noisiest one I've heard. So if you want something very quiet, first exclude this. This drive is the old Hitachi enterprise drive. First exclude this. You can buy Western Digital's ordinary high capacity drives and quiet drives. Don't get old and noisy ones. Their sound is very, very small. So this is the situation I'm explaining to everyone. After you buy this, it can bring you close to RAM playback effect. Just play directly, and you can achieve this effect. It's very, very powerful. So this is a simple play method. My veteran audiophile friends, just find a hard drive enclosure, plug it in, and it works. This is one method. There's another method. Sometimes other people also need to use this hard drive because your D1X and Diskone can stay powered on. I can tell you, they can almost never be turned off. You can keep playing continuously. One approach is you directly share this hard drive. Sometimes you need to copy songs into it, right? Assign this hard drive as, say, C drive or E drive, F drive. Share this hard drive on the network. Aren't you connected to the network? Share it. You have a hi-fi switch, right? After sharing it, you can remotely access it. But this will consume D1X resources. When it's not playing music, we can do this. But it's not recommended during playback. But sometimes you might think, I want to put this Diskone into a NAS. You can buy something like an R5C now, connect it to your hi-fi switch, then doesn't have USB output. Plug it into the R5C's USB port, turn it into a hi-fi NAS. At that time, you need to use a USB 3 cable. Its speed and performance will improve. It becomes a hi-fi NAS. But when used as a hi-fi NAS, the difference compared to direct connection weakens slightly. The difference between custom edition and standard edition weakens a bit. At this point, you can use either standard edition or custom edition. If directly plugged in, it must be custom edition. Okay? So this is what I consider a simple play method for the D1X. It can bring you close to RAM playback effect. RAM playback effect. In fact, some people think hard drives are loud. I can tell everyone, at the Shanghai show, we used the 18 TB Western digital drive. We played at the Shanghai show for 3 days, and no one heard the hard drive sound because it was continuously playing songs from the drive. No one heard it. Unless you put your ear close, you can't hear this sound. When playing music, it's very quiet. Only during the first startup, when reading the disc, it makes a bit of sound. After that, there's really not much sound, almost inaudible. So it's quite quiet. But sometimes you might say, this thing takes up too much space. Look, I don't need such large capacity. It supports 20T, 100T. I don't need such large capacity taking up space. I want the sound to also achieve that RAM playback effect. How to do that? Wait, the PA2, it's about the size of an eyeglasses case. It can achieve the same effect as Disc 1 or even stronger. Price is only 30 or below. Pre-order price might be a little over 20. It can achieve the same sound. The only thing is, it uses solid-state drives. Capacity can't be as huge as Disc 1, reaching casually 10-20 TB. Its SSD is usually a few TB, right? So it depends on your own needs. So this is one difference between PA2 and Disc 1. Then I especially want to say something. The D1X's play methods will be very rich. This is just one type. We call the simple play method. Isn't RAM playback troublesome for everyone? Like Bughead J Player. You can use this Disc 1 to achieve an effect very close to RAM playback, making your sound more stable and more linear. But the D1X play methods can go very deep if you have the energy. Later, we will have very different play methods and suggested solutions for the D1X. We'll lay out all the solutions for you. This time, since Disc 1 is out, the focus is on how to play with Disc 1. Okay?